Hey, Ellis, let's talk about the questions we're going to do next week.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. I have a question from Jenny, and she asks about her hair color. Probably not appropriate for the show, huh?
Probably not.
What do you have?
Alicia, my husband works for me. How do I fire him?
Ooh, that's tough. This one, I have one here from Vanessa. Vanessa says, I'm stealing from my company, and I'm getting away with it. Should I stop now, or should I stop later? Probably not something we want to touch.
No. Here's one from Raymond. I'm the co-host of a small business video series for work, and my producer isn't following my contract requests of only green M&Ms and vitamin water before each show. What should I do?
Yeah.
Awkward. Ignition. I'm Ellis Friedman.
And I'm Ramon Wright with Infusionsoft. Thanks for watching. Ignition is a weekly show where we want to help your small business grow. We want to answer your questions about sales and marketing, provide you with best practices and how to grow your business. I probably said that, Ellis, a second time. Grow your business through sales and marketing best practices. Thanks for watching.
And as I tell Ramon every week, if you have a question for us, you can email us at blog@infusionsoft.com.
Awesome. So, Ellis, we will be quiet and let's get to the question.
Okay, well, I will not be quiet because I'm going to ask the question.
Wow, I love it.
Today's question is from Rebecca. I'm a woman and I run and teach at my own flight school. As an expert with lots of experience, I have a great student base and the school is doing well. But I'm trying to shape myself as an expert and thought leader in the greater aviation industry, which is very heavily male-dominated. Most of my students are men, most of my peers and industry leaders are men. So how do I position myself as an expert while finding a balance of being authentic to myself and also meeting the men in the industry where they are and bringing them my message? And how can I harness my strengths to get through to some of the men who might not be as receptive to a female expert?
Awesome. So we have a great expert to help us with that today.
We do.
We have with us today Sally Hogshead, who's a New York Times best-selling author. She's an expert in branding and personality, a speaker, and a lot of other things. But most importantly, I took a test that she has, an assessment kind of communications test personality, and I found out that I'm a, but I won't say what it is yet. We'll save that for the end.
Let's keep the suspense going.
We will do that. But great. Sally, welcome to Ignition.
Hey, thanks you guys. I'm happy to be able to be here.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for being here, Sally.
So,
my pleasure.
what do you say to our question person?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. Thank you. What is your answer, Rebecca?
Well, first of all, let's take Rebecca's question and put it over to the side for a minute, because really what she's asking is a question that all of us as entrepreneurs and small business leaders need to be thinking about, which is how do we differentiate ourselves in a crowded marketplace? How do we use our personality advantages naturally to attract those ideal customers that will love us and advocate for us and talk about us in social media and keep coming back to us over and over again? And the reality is that every business faces three threats right now, especially small businesses. The first threat is competition. There are so many different options out there, and if we don't differentiate ourselves from our competitors, then people aren't going to understand why they should pay more money for our services or why they should choose us over somebody else. The second threat that we face is distraction. The average attention span might only be 9 seconds. So Rebecca, like all of us, needs to understand how she can stand out and not be afraid to do something a little bit different. And the third threat is commoditization. If people think that you're the same as your competition, then you're going to have to compete on the basis of price. And we all know what happens. If you compete on the basis of price, then it's just a downward spiral because you're not going to be able to grow your business. Right. So here's what Rebecca should do, like all of us. She should identify what's the way that her personality can contribute to add value to her customers. And then she needs to hone in on that, double down on it, and grow her business around that. In our research, we found that what high performers do differently is they have a specialty of some kind. Rebecca's specialty might be that she has a certain style of aviation. It could be she has a certain kind of customer service. Whatever it is, she needs to use it and emphasize it and do more of it.
So what I'm hearing here is that this may not even be a gender issue. I mean, it could be for her, but that you just need to help her think differently and think above that and find out just to help people. Differentiation, as you talked about, what's your specialty, and et cetera. That's what I'm hearing, that it's not, that she may think of the question differently.
Yes, yeah. For the first half of my career, I was a copywriter for brands like Nike, BMW, Mini Cooper, Coca-Cola. And what I learned is that a brand has a choice. It can either have the biggest budget or it can be the most fascinating. So if a small business doesn't have a huge budget, then it has to find some way that it can instantly captivate the customer. And I'll give you an example. Do you like ice cream?
Love ice cream.
Okay.
And Sally, let me just tell you something. I like strawberry ice cream, warmed in a microwave for about 13 seconds, with 2 slices of large Entenmann's pound cake. Go ahead. But that's what I like, really.
So
What a diva.
Oh,
that is,
yeah.
well, even a trendsetter almost.
Yeah. Go ahead.
In my house, we always have vanilla ice cream because everybody loves vanilla ice
Okay.
cream. Very few people like pistachio, but my husband is obsessed with pistachio. You can kind of think about your marketing like you have a choice. You can either be the vanilla for your customers, or you can be the pistachio. If you're the vanilla, then that means that you're trying to please everybody. You're trying to do the same thing for everybody, to be all things to all people. But you don't have to stand out or be quirky or be differentiated in some way. That's fine if you have the biggest budget. But if you don't have the biggest budget, then you need to be the most fascinating, right? And that's where pistachio succeeds if it were a small business. It serves a small niche of people really, really well, so that it's not trying to please everybody. In fact, it's alienating or polarizing certain people, but it has advocate fans that will choose it, that will drive across town for it, that will pay more money for it beyond anybody else.
So, could part of Rebecca's fascination be being a woman in a male-dominated industry? Like, is that something she could play off of?
I think it's a great example. But whatever it is, Rebecca needs to be able to identify that. And one way she could do that is by taking the Fascination Advantage assessment.
And that was
would-
so amazing. I took that assessment. Amazing. Please, go ahead.
A traditional personality test tells you how you see the world. So if Rebecca took an assessment like Myers-Briggs or StrengthsFinder or DISC, she would learn how she sees the world. This is the first assessment that's built on marketing. So instead of looking at how she sees the world, it's how does the world see her? How does the world see you? How do people see you at your best?
And that will really help as Rebecca tries to position herself as a leader in the industry and not just another business.
And not just a commodity, right?
Right. All right, so shall I remind you now that we want to talk about...
Thank you. Yes, so I'll ask the question. I'll ask the question. So Sally,
Yeah.
where can we find information about the assessment and tell us more about it?
You can go to howtofascinate.com/you. When you take the assessment, you do 28 questions, and immediately it'll give you a report that describes how the world sees you. So if you are going out on a date, or you're going to a job interview, or you're doing a critical new business pitch, you can find out how other people see you and what your advantages are. And now, after we've measured over 500,000 people, we have calibrated the assessment so it's very quick, very easy, and uncannily accurate.
Wow.
And in anticipation of this discussion, Ramon and I took this
Yes, we
quiz. Would you like to share what you are, Ramon?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, everything's good. We're ready to go here live. We can reveal this now. Trendsetter is what the assessment revealed.
That's funny, Ramon.
And what was yours? Just curious. Did you take the test? And what was yours?
No, I did.
You did?
And funny
Okay.
enough, I was a trendsetter too.
No. Get out of here.
Are you kidding? You nearly crawled up and died when you found out we were the
Yes, I
same
did.
thing.
Yes, I did.
No,
I did.
it's not like there's only one result. There are 42 different results. There's the wise owl, or the subtle touch, or the secret weapon, or the maestro, or the avant-garde.
This was a fluke.
It was because
Or
you two have
kismet,
certain qualities
depending.
in common. The trendsetter is intensely creative. You're able to see things on a big picture. You don't necessarily want to get in the nitty-gritty.
No.
You get bored quickly.
Yes.
You like to be able to go on to the next thing and make quantum leaps. But you also have very high standards. Sometimes it can be difficult to please you. When people work with you, it's important for them to know that you're not going to think in a linear way, but you always want to be improving. You're comfortable with change, but only change that helps push things to the next level.
Well, thank you so much, Sally,
Sure,
for
sure.
being our guest.
You did a great job, Sally. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm so happy to be
You're
able to
very
be here
welcome.
with you.
Thank you for watching Ignition, a weekly show. We want to help you grow your business. And Ellis, where can people reach us and how can they contact us?
As I mentioned before,
Yes, you did.
they can email us at blog@infusionsoft.com.
Great. I'm Ramon Ray. Thanks for watching.